Hello, world. Me, Nate Bird again. Found some interesting information recently. Didn't realize there's a video on my channel that says SD Owner Talks. And the owner that was accusing my family of stealing went to my mother-in-law's place of work and starts harassing her. Now, in this conversation, I didn't realize that he says that it's funny that Henry BerryHill, everyone in town knows Henry BerryHill is a thief, but yet no one is doing anything about it. On video. You can go see this yourself in the conversation between my mother-in-law and this disgruntled owner the day after my wife was interrogated, which is on my channel too. I'm not a professional journalist or anything like that. Just the dad trying to make aware that essentially this owner says to my mother-in-law that he knows who the thief was, but yet he's just gonna go and charge my wife. And what's disgusting about it is Henry T BerryHill has a record. He was wanted for rape for a child of ages between 13 and 14, as well as grand theft. And so when the owner, his name is Dennis Fiest, says to my mother-in-law, it's funny how everybody in Eureka knows Henry is a thief, but no one does anything about it. To me, he's admitting that he knew Henry's a thief and a pedo and didn't call the police on him. Why? And this was before my wife was charged. And I wasn't even charged. Still had never been charged. Not once. Not a cent. But my bank account was searched through, like to find where's Waldo or something. So it just shows that the state was trying to protect a pedo, or was the business owner trying to protect a pedo? I don't know. But either way, anybody can go look up Henry T BerryHill, McPherson County man wanted since 2020, and he was arrested in Missouri and was accused of rape, sexual rape with a child, contact with a child between the ages of 13 and 14, as well as grand theft. And the business owner knew and had this gentleman employed with him for like 3 to 4 years. Multiple store managers at this place tried multiple times to get this gentleman fired, but yet the owner knew out of his own mouth, it's on video in a conversation, saying that why didn't anybody do anything? Can anybody make this make sense to me? Like, if you go look up Henry T BerryHill, McPherson, South Dakota, you will see what this kind of man is, but yet you don't call the police on him ever? And what's even more interesting is the sheriff, David Ackerman, saw this video before he pressed charges against my wife. And never pressed charges against me, which still to this day is, which I have another trial for, still doesn't make any sense. You know, I'm still being persecuted to this day, you know. But when things like this go on behind sneaky little things to cover up what an authoritative government official does, especially covering up someone like Henry T BerryHill, it's just disgusting. So, like I said before, I have nothing to hide. I'm not a professional journalist. I'm just a dad with 7 kids trying to make this aware that if you don't follow procedures, you don't follow common logic, eventually you're going to get in trouble. And in this situation, law enforcement screwed up and let a pedo, a rapist, a person who did very bad and was a wanted man, and the owner knew he was a thief, but they never arrested him. They decided to arrest my wife with no criminal record, And now my wife is in charge of the finances for the city of Eureka. So, anybody out there, can you help me make this make sense? I'm just trying to understand how my bank account, how my children's income, and how someone, an employer who lost a federal unemployment to me, can do whatever he wants, says whatever he wants to the police, and it shall be done. It shall be done. He can even go interrogate people because he's deputized, I guess. I didn't know this was the Wild Wild West. It doesn't even make sense to me why he's even talking to my mother-in-law about investigation, right? Why is he even doing that? Why is he allowed to do that? Not even the sheriff can answer that question for me. Especially answering the question when he heard the owner again say, Henry BerryHill is a thief, but no one's doing anything about it. So why aren't you calling the police on him? Why are we sitting here arguing and you're calling the police on my wife? They didn't arrest me. They called the police on my wife, on my bank account. It went to trial. She got found not guilty, acquitted, of course, because that would be a whole lot of more opening cans, you know. There's equal protection under scrutiny laws, as well as having 7 kids and 1 child who receives Social Security, Phelan-McDermott syndrome. You can look it up. It has to do with SHANK22 gene, collects Social Security, as well as state benefits. So on one hand, I collect benefits, but on the other hand, I'm a thief. I'm like taking imaginable amounts of money. But yet, they have a pedo, a rapist, and a thief working for them. And even in the town of Eureka, everybody knew Henry T BerryHill was a thief. There's been many incidents where it was in the paper that he was a thief. So I am trying to understand why, before charging my wife, why didn't the sheriff of McPherson County charge Henry T BerryHill with theft when the owner said he knew he was stealing? He knew he was stealing. He even said the whole town knew he was stealing. So why isn't anybody doing anything about it? So he wants to be the victim about his own business, but yet he's calling the police on my wife, who's now a government accountant for Eureka. I don't know about you, but what do you think of this situation? Have you ever heard of such a thing? You know, I never heard of such a thing, especially for a child who's autistic and receives Social Security benefits. Is South Dakota saying that child is a thief? Pretty crappy, if you ask me. They'd rather protect Henry T BerryHill than protect my children. I don't give a shit about me. They already had my stuff. I mean, if anybody's ever filed for Social Security or state benefits or anything like that, you know it's not easy. And every month, and usually every month, every 30 days, whatever, you gotta supply your income. Especially if you're being accused of stealing $46,000 and it was $70,000. There was like 7 different amounts. They didn't even have an amount until a year later, and it became the same amount that I won in my lawsuit claim. They said we stole $19,000, but they couldn't explain where or how, because at first there was like 7 different amounts, and you can even hear him in the video with my mother-in-law saying, how are they going to pay back $34,000? And another thing I just realized is that some of the information that this previous owner, my previous disgruntled employer that lost unemployment claim of $20,000, starts talking about information that it matches my bank account. Now, can anybody tell me how this owner knows information that payments are matching in my bank account? Seems to me the sheriff and this owner were buddy-buddy. And from my knowledge, they went to high school together. And from my knowledge, They were really good friends. But yet, when you don't follow the facts, it doesn't matter. Facts over feelings. That's what I'm going to say. Facts over feelings. And in this case, I had to resort to going on YouTube, making videos now, or try to at least, to underscore the issue that before all this happened, the owner, out of his own mouth, said, Henry T BerryHill is the thief. But yet no one's going to do anything about it. And the sheriff saw that. What does that say to you? Thank you. If you listen to me, have yourself a great day.